saga of Eboni K. Williams is a weird one. It's like a constant dichotomy. On one hand, Eboni K. Williams is a very intelligent, very attractive attorney slash radio host slash TV host and personality. On one hand, Eboni K. Williams is beautiful, smart, intelligent, and a big personality. On the flip side, Eboni K. Williams is a lady that can't get what she wants out of relationships, which means that her brand identity, whether she likes or not, is a woman who is a mascot for Black single motherhood.
Black women are availing ourselves to all of the options that our hard work and circumstances currently afford us. And that means that single motherhood by choice is going to be an option that more and more Black women consider and even exercise.
And yeah, you remember this.
So anybody that's in their feelings about that can go ahead and start to process right now. Because Black women that have the privilege to embark upon this expensive and oftentimes lengthy process will increasingly decide to forego marriages and partnerships that do not serve us and that are not in our best interests.
And this is Eboni K. Williams' brand right now. I mean, she's a single mother by choice. She actually went through with this in vitro fertilization. And when she did...
Black women, y'all really should be applauding her and taking notes, because unlike many of you, she's not going to be chasing Tyrone down the street trying to force him to be a family.
Woo! Now, when Eboni K. Williams went through with this in vitro fertilization, she had a daughter. She bought a new home in Harlem. And of course, this seemed to be ideal because these professional Black women, such as Eboni K. Williams, had it all. The looks, the education, but they wanted the family. And the problem was, well, it was the men's fault that we couldn't step up to the plate and be the men that they needed us to be. So this was her only opportunity to make that happen.
I think Eboni K. Williams has really sparked a debate with her choosing to be a single parent. She was like, this isn't ideal for me, but I want children, so this is what I'm doing, and I'm happy with the decision. I think it has sparked a lot of debate about the avenues that high-achieving, successful, good-looking Black women will have to take if they want the dream of the family.
And other Black women felt the same way.
I was always nervous being a successful woman, wondering if a man could handle my success. And in truth, majority of my relationships did not work out because the men were very insecure about my success.
Now, if you live in any of these metropolitan areas, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, any place, particularly on the East Coast corridor and even down south, you are going to find these women that have the same issue. We're attractive, we're beautiful, we've worked hard, but the men, number one, are not there. And because these men are not there, we force ourselves to get into these relationships with these men who are, quote unquote, not on our level. And when they're not on our level, these men are actually insecure and they are jealous of us. And typically this can work if you're a Black woman and all you date is Black men.
He's right,
But this isn't the issue with Eboni K. Williams. You see, Eboni K. Williams was once engaged, not to a Black man, but to a white man.
Damn!
The white man was Stephen Glenn, and some sources say that he may even be a billionaire, but most blogs say that he is, in the financial industry, so he's well off. And you have this white man in which, she can't marry him. And so what's the issue now? And so you have these Black women who at first were able to say, well, I can't find any Black man on my level. Then you get somebody like Eboni K. Williams, who's able to transcend the Black community and then, appeal to a white man and still can't get along with him. And so, well, then what is it? I mean, you can't get along with him. And it's crazy because Eboni K. Williams typically is on a lot of the Black, intellectual podcast shows talking about dating and relationships and so on and so forth. But this is actually where this story gets interesting because very recently, Eboni K. Williams did a collaboration with a content creator by the name of Tara Resnick. Okay. And Tara Resnick is on Instagram, and this post is going just completely viral. It happened just not so long ago. And Eboni K. Williams is talking about her past relationship history.
I was devastated because this man I was so madly in love with that I knew loved me, but I also knew he couldn't give me what I wanted. I knew he couldn't give me what I knew I deserved. And I also knew by this point, he's never gonna fucking tell me. He's never. And I'm going to have to be the one to kind of, what it felt like, at least to me, and it probably felt like to you, Tara, break my own heart. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to be the one to walk away from the man that I love because I love me more.
Woo! So Eboni K. Williams is saying it in black and white. She was really in love with this man. But she knew that this man could never be who she wanted him to be for her. And ultimately, she chose herself. I mean, this is typical Tia Mowry, typical Tracy Ellis Ross. I mean, we hear this all the time. But listen to what Tara Resnick says.
That's the message. And that's the discomfort that people need to learn to sit in.
Yep.
Yes, it is breaking your own heart. Yes, it's going to be fucking hard to do that. Mm-hmm. But you know what's a lot harder? Ending up at almost 43, realizing that you could have had the dream of being a mother if that's what you want, and this will cost you that.
Yeah.
I can promise you, and Eboni, it sounds like you're saying the same thing. It will never end well if you continue to ignore the signs.
Tara Resnick basically backs up everything that Eboni K. Williams is talking about. And this is important because a lot of times we limit this conversation to just black women in the black community. Like, they're the only ones that think like this. The real reality is it's a female thought process. Doesn't matter if you're black American or white American. I mean, you can come to Africa and find the same thing. But the problem with Eboni K. Williams is the same issue that so many women have, that no man is good enough and no man can give me exactly what I want. So if no man can give me exactly what I want, then the main thing that I can do is I can just get, in vitro fertilization, and I can handle it my way. Now, let's flip the script. If you're a man and you were to go out and say, well, no woman can give you everything that you want, so therefore I don't want to get married to one lady. What people think about you? So you see, the reality is that as men, or as people in general, there is nobody that will give you everything that you want. And that's just the way it is. We can look at our favorite athletes, our favorite fighters, basketball players, you name it. None of them have all the qualities. Michael Jordan wasn't the best overall ball handler or the best shooter, but he did a lot of things right. And what really brought out Michael Jordan in the Bulls is the talent that they put around him. Getting Scottie Pippen, adding Horace Grant, adding Phil Jackson as a coach, adding Tony Kukoc, and so many other players around his talent, which raised everything else. And relationships can be the same way. And I understand that we all want what we want out of relationships, and that's fine. But how often do we say, well, you know what? This person is loyal. This person is there for me. This person may not be the brightest person or the most intelligent person, but you know what? This person is good for me. And the question that I need to ask is, am I everything that I need to be for that person? And this is the issue with, certain women like Eboni K. Williams, is that in their 40s, they try to justify why they made the decision that they've made. And of course, they're telling other women this too. But the problem is that not every woman will have the financial access of Eboni K. Williams. Not everybody will be beautiful like her or as intelligent as her. And by telling women that, you know what, if everything is not going your way, if you don't get everything that you want, you need to leave that situation. It really puts people in general in a bad situation, because not everybody can just leave situations just simply because the person that you can get won't give you what you want. The issue is also this, in order for you to get more, you need to put more effort. Yeah, I know that we don't talk about that a lot, but we're starting to talk about it a lot on my channel, which is if you want outcome C and you're only at outcome B, then that means that for you to go to B to C, it requires energy, it requires work, because you're already at B, but you want to get to level C. There are certain things that you need to do to concentrate to reach your goal to level C. And it's interesting because women like Eboni K. Williams have no problem doing that in their professional life. They have no problem getting good grades, getting into law school, and then doing very well. That's no problem getting into the financial hierarchy of life. But when it comes to that same hierarchy in dating and relationships, to the kind of man that you want, well, you're not willing to put in that effort, but you want somebody to put that effort into you. And then you go ahead and move the goalposts and try to say, well, the reason why I have in vitro fertilization is because none of these men out there in the world today, all 3 or 4 billion available men in the world, none of them can give me what I want. When the reality is that you probably are not giving somebody what they want.
Woo!
This is why businesses stay small. This is why teams don't win. I mean, it's everything. Anybody who doesn't want to put effort or time or sacrifice into something won't get it. And if you're just looking to get something because you're insane. And Eboni K. Williams just continues to show why she's delusional, why nobody takes her seriously. And women who are going to adopt this mentality, you're going to get left behind, because there's so many women out there who don't want to end up like Eboni K. Williams. And if you're a man and you're doing very well, women like Eboni K. Williams really don't matter. It just, it's not even a part of your life. If you're a guy on the way to being top 40, 30% of men, even if you're top 50% of men, you're really not even listening to what somebody like Eboni K. Williams is talking about, because Eboni K. Williams has no leverage in the dating market. Nobody will put up with that. But a lot of women will put up with you if you have a lot to offer. But if you're a lady at 43 and you're still thinking that somebody owes you something just because you're you, I mean, I got a bridge I can sell you in Arkansas.
Got him!
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.